Hi everyone, it's Linda and
Carolyn.
yay! We went today to see the second part of Lord of the Rings, which is the
The Two
Two
Towers. Yeah.
Towers. Okay, I'll tell you what I thought. I think I'm getting invested in these movies. I really did enjoy it. I after the first one,
Yeah.
I did some research and
Hmm.
I researched all of the characters
Great.
and put names to faces and read a little bit about them so that when I went in today, I was like, okay, I know the starting point.
Yeah.
I know who these characters are and I know what happened. Although I would like to see the first one again now and fill in some holes for me.
Yeah. Yep.
But I went in, but then all of a sudden it was all new
Yeah. Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
But the worst part about it is they are really, really ugly characters.
Oh. Oh, you mean, are you talking about the monsters like the Urukai? Or
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
they're hard to look at.
yeah.
They're so ugly.
They are. They did those the people who did the makeup and the whatever, the
Costuming.
costuming did an amazing job because I they're terrifying to look at. Their voices are terrifying to look at. They get some really great
Their mouths
close-ups.
open
Their
and
mouths are open. That one orc had like boogers coming out of its mouth after it was like killed, or out of its nose. I mean, they're
they
really
are
frightening.
very, very ugly. I'm
Yeah.
just going to turn this down a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, they really, truly are. It
Yeah.
was even that Schmiegel.
Yeah, Smeagol or Gollum. Yeah,
Yes,
he has like two names.
he's
So,
very ugly too.
yeah, he is.
Maybe you could help me understand him. It was like he had two personalities,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, explain that to me.
So I think what's happening with Gollum. So Gollum was Smeagol. His name was Smeagol, and
Was
the
he a hobbit or
he
something?
was like a hobbit. I think that he was an iteration of a hobbit at
Okay.
one point because he is like way before, the time that we're in right now. So I think that he was a hobbit who was turned by the ring. And you'll actually get to see his backstory a little bit more in the
Okay.
third movie, which I think will be fun. So his name was Smeagol, but because of the ring over, the time that he had it, it turned him into something just completely different. And so the name Gollum, like that is who he is after the ring. And so you see this kind of like internal dialogue with him. I like to say, like, I kind of think of it as like it's his shadow self, and then it's the person that he's striving to be. Like he's kind of, he's struggling in his mind right now, thinking, which I think goes along with the movie's theme of like hope, that like, okay, I've met this master, and maybe this master, it really does care about me, even though he keeps battling with the ring, right? He has these moments where he does
I
want to
feel
be
like he has a
loyal.
good conscience and a
He
bad
does. That's exactly
conscience.
it. And that's exactly what's happening. You hear this good voice and this bad voice. And
Hmm.
the bad voice is the like, nobody cares about you. You suck, etc., etc. And then the good voice is like, yeah, but master will take care of us. And I think he's going back and forth between those things. And he's not the only character doing that, right? We see King Theoden
Hmm.
with that Grima Wormtongue. He's been for so many decades or however long, Grima Wormtongue has been whispering this negativity into his ear of
Hmm.
like, oh, you're so tired, you're so old,
Right.
things suck, things are so bad. And we see what that has done to Theoden.
Right.
So I think it's an interesting theme in this second movie. The power of thoughts and the power of words, and
Yeah.
this power of like how you talk to yourself, or what you choose to hear other people say to
Yeah,
you.
there's a lot you can walk away with and
Yeah.
think about and
Yeah.
yeah, and kind of even you're right, transfer into your daily
Yeah.
living.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and then again, the line at the end when Sam said
Oh, yeah.
something about like he's got these little foreshadow things or something. The world, the world is so bad. Can we ever
Mm.
come back from it or something? And
Yeah.
makes you realize,
Yeah.
like when you look at the world today, and
Yeah.
how it
Oh,
applies. And
Yep.
And then I don't know if it was he who also said, but there's still so much good in the world,
There
and we have to
is.
work towards that, and
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
yeah,
that good that gives you hope.
yeah,
And then I think part of that as well too was the like this too shall pass.
hmm
And I can just imagine Tolkien, thinking about World War I and
hmm
then experiencing World War II again and having to remind himself, this too will pass. The world seems so evil and so terrible, but it's going to change. Things are going to go
hmm
through. And then again, reminding us about the goodness in the world.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but there were a lot of new characters introduced,
yes,
and we're kind of like starting to get the lineup for this, like, this final battle that we're going to see in the third movie.
there's another
So
battle.
well, there's good, yeah, I mean, we are not done yet, right?
Okay,
So we
there's still 4 hours. The last one is
yeah.
over 4 hours
Yes.
long.
Yeah, there's still a lot that's going to happen, but we still have, like, Sam and Frodo are still on their way to Mordor. They are almost go through the front door but then decide against it, and so then Gollum is going to take them through the back way, but they, on that journey, they actually encounter Boromir's brother, Faramir, which is exciting. And of course, Faramir in the end has the strength to let them go and let the ring go.
hmm
And then on the other end, we have Gandalf, who is going. He gathers an army of the Rohirrim who were exiled by Theoden, and he brings them back. And then we have, Legolas, and we have Aragorn, and we have Gimli going to Gondor to rally King Theoden.
It amazes me how you know all these names and all these like army names.
Yeah, well, well, I mean, so with, we see with Theoden, like, his empire, I guess, these little villages. It's so interesting to see how, tyranny in these movies is just it doesn't change ever, right? You have these innocent people on the outskirts, these peasants, these poor people. That's who the enemy decides to attack. They're attacking the poor people, the peasants, and people who are defenseless. And so they're attacking them. This is something that Theoden is seeing, and they kind of realize, like, oh crap, war is coming to our doorstep. So they, in the past, the thing that saved them was to go to that Helm's Deep, that, like, that
hmm
rock fortress. And so they decide to do that again. And so they go to Helm's Deep, and the war ensues. There's only a couple hundred of them. They don't know how the heck they're even going to do this. They rally, they get old men and young children, and they rally. And then, the elves show up, which is kind of an exciting point as well too.
hmm
They fight these battles, and it gets pretty scary. And I think the scary characters that you were talking about, we were seeing a lot of that with them, and the creative ways that they were, like, making it up to this Helm's Deep and the walls and things like that, I thought were so, like,
It's
amazing.
such an epic tale.
Yeah.
Like it's the whole fortress. Well, to me, I was thinking of it as a castle, right? And it would be exactly what you would expect
Yeah.
that to be
Yep.
like. And then there's dragons flying through the air, and
Yeah.
there's elves,
Yeah.
and there's
Yep.
all these things that
Yeah.
make for this epic like
Yeah.
story. And I
Yep.
think what an amazing children's tale, but no.
No, it's not. No, and that's what I think, that's what originally, The Hobbit was, like, kind of like a children's tale, and
hmm
then it was kind of assumed that the trilogy would be one too, and no, it was, like, something a little bit more
Oh
serious.
yes, yes,
But
yes. I wouldn't want to put little children in front of
no,
this.
no, 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 no. No, but, again, when we're looking at this going into the next movie, so we do have, we have Theoden with Rohan. I can't remember if I said Gondor for Theoden or Rohan, but he's Rohan and the riders of Rohan, all of those horses, the horsemen, the
hmm
riders, Theoden and the riders of Rohan, and then Gondor is Boromir's. That's where he and Faramir are from. And we're going to see in the next movie, we're going to meet Boromir and Faramir's horrible father, like even more in the next movie. We're going to get to know a little
Okay.
bit more about him there. And we are, we're going to see that whole realm we're going to see Gondor be rallied as well too. So I think it's so interesting with both of these kingdoms that they both have kind of, they both have these rulers who are, one of them is being um, like repressed and, poisoned, and then the other one is ruled by somebody who is just, egotistical and maybe even like a narcissist or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's only going to get more exciting because
I'm
clearly,
really looking forward to the
yeah,
third part. We have this major storm coming tomorrow too, or we'd be seeing the third part tomorrow. But instead, we've got tickets for possibly Tuesday, possibly Wednesday,
yeah,
whenever it's not snowing. So we have to hope that the snow is gone by early next week so we can see part three, because I don't want to be
yeah.
left hanging now.
No, no, we got to see part three. I mean, clearly, oh God, we forgot to talk about too, the Ents. So we had the Ents as well too in this movie. And Merry and Pippin, they rallied the Ents. And the Ents, again, with this movie, we see that in Isengard, Saruman is just creating these Uruk-hai, tens of thousands of them. And again, in the final movie, I think it comes down to numbers again. It's like, where do they get the numbers? How do they get enough people to
Yeah,
fight
yeah.
against the enemy? Um, but it was really exciting. The Ents were such an exciting part. What did you
The
think about
ants are
them?
the trees, right?
Yeah, the Ents are the trees. Yeah. What did you think about them?
I loved the trees. I loved the trees. I mean, the trees were like that stuff kids' dreams are made of, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
I don't know. I loved seeing like them sitting up in the trees and stuff.
yeah,
That was really cute. But they were able to rally them and get them to
yeah,
support,
yeah,
which was really kind of cool.
yeah. And it was fun that, so first of all, Gandalf came back as well too. So he was Gandalf the Grey.
Mhm.
He came back as Gandalf the White after fighting
Mhm.
the Balrog. And I love how Gandalf was just like, Merry and Pippin got this. Like they're totally gonna like take care of this with the Ents,
Mhm.
and that's what they did.
Mhm.
They came up with this brilliant idea to bring the Ents to the edge of the forest at Isengard so that they could
Mhm.
see the destruction. And they got so mad that they were like, "Screw Saruman, we're gonna take him out." They destroy his little Uruk-hai
Mhm.
factory. They destroy, everything that he
Mhm.
has built. And so that's exciting for us, right? We're like, woo, this is exciting, but it's not over yet.
Well, I'm really looking forward to part three. I really am. I really, I wish it wasn't going to snow tomorrow
I know,
because
I
I'd
know.
really like to go tomorrow and see it,
Yeah,
but
I agree. Yep,
can't do that. So
yep.
we have to give it a rating. And so now that I'm kind of a little vested, I'm at the 4 out of 5 star
Okay,
point.
gotcha.
Where are
Yep.
you?
I'm still at 5,
You're still in the
I'm gonna be at
5.
5. Yeah, I'm at
Okay.
5.
Okay.
So
So I'm moving toward, by the time we get to the end, I may be there. But I really do. It's a story that you have to really commit to. Like, you
yeah,
have to be willing to sit and watch it and pay attention and not
yeah.
like be on your phone and doing
Yeah.
things, you know?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I also think it's one of those movies that you can watch over and over again. And you can watch it through to watch
Mhm.
the story. You
Mhm.
can watch it through to look at the amazing costumes and the
Mhm.
characters and the scenery and stuff like that. I feel like there's so much that this movie
I
offers.
really wonder. A couple of people in the comments for last one said you really should just watch the theoretical. What's the word? The
Is it,
theater version.
oh, the theatrical version. Oh,
Theatrical. That was the
gotcha.
word I was trying to think.
Yeah.
The theater version for to start with, without all of the
Yeah.
extended version.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine what they would cut out. I mean, this was a 3.5 hour movie or
Yeah.
longer.
Yep.
Like, what would they cut out of it to take it down to 2 hours? You'd be cutting the movie in half.
Yeah, I know. There's so much.
I
Yeah.
can't imagine. At some point, maybe after I've finished this and done a little research on it, I will sit down and watch, the shorter versions of it
Yeah.
just to see the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even remember what the shorter
Yeah,
versions would be like at this point,
yeah.
but yeah, it does, it's so fast paced. There's so many people to learn about. There's so much like history that goes into this.
Mm-hmm.
The I don't know if you have there is a show on Prime that takes you through like the history. It takes you to the beginning when
Of this?
of this. So yeah, so this is
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, it's a show, and I want to say it's called Ring of Power, I think. So it's the time in this history where the rings are actually being forged, and where Sauron is like walking the earth, like he actually is a
Maybe I'll
physical
look for that after
incarnation.
I see this last
Yeah,
part.
I
Yeah.
think it is really interesting, and
Okay.
it gives you a little bit more of like the history and things like that. So there
Okay.
is
I
more
will
to be
check that
seen.
out. I
Yep.
will.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we have, which is a lot of movie history here. Carolyn really knows her stuff when it comes to this movie. Um, I'm excited to see the next one, and tell us what you think. Have you gone to the theater to see them now that they're playing? And that's about all I have.
Yeah, yep, yeah. Be curious to hear what your favorite part of these movies is, what you think about them. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's 11 degrees right now,
yeah.
and it is bitter cold. So we are going to sign off and get in our cars with heat and um, head home. So we'll catch you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.